let's take about a minute or two just to look at some past projects. The Everything is Rosy product medley, which I believe was out last spring, and it retailed for about $80. You get a stamp set, you get matching dies, you get so much, at least a full pack of 6x6 designer series paper, stickers, the whole 9 yards. But here's just a few of the projects I made in the spring, and I did have a Facebook Live on my business page, Stampin' Scrap with Mary Knabe, as well as my VIP group, Stampin' Peace VIP group on Facebook. So there's 2 Facebook Lives. They each have different projects. Okay. I don't know why my hands are shaking so much, but they are. I'll take this belly band off. I obviously made it a little too snug. And here was a fun 3x3 mini album. Great for grandmas to show off their new little grandbaby, or somebody that has several grandchildren. You can put their pictures in there. Here's a little gift box. May your birthday be filled with pretty things. And again, all these were made with the products from the Everything is Rosy product medley. Some fun cards. And all these projects too are in those previous Facebook videos, Facebook Lives that I told you about. Okay, this is just a bigger version of this. Some fun note cards, simple congratulations, great for any occasion. I just want to do a few of these really quick. Here's another one of those folded cards. That's a fun one to make. There's another card. So this is just a few of the things I made with that product medley. Quite honestly, it is a bargain. I thought it was worth the $80 I paid for it back in the spring. You can find it on the clearance rack for, I believe, 15% off. It has so much in it. It's amazing, and the possibilities are endless. So it really, really, really is a good value. Okay, the 15% off puts it probably around $67, $68. And that includes the stamp set and coordinating dies. And that alone is probably worth at least $35 or more, $35 to $45 for that bundle. Okay, so take a look at that on the clearance rack. You also will want to know that other items have also, thanks Pam, that other items have also been added to the clearance rack. I looked at it very, very, very early this morning when I had insomnia and couldn't sleep. Went ahead and looked at my Stampin' Up! Demonstrator updates and found that they had added new items to the clearance rack. So I don't know what's left, but there were so many great things. A lot of embossing folders, lots of embellishments and ribbons and trims. So be sure and check out the clearance rack. Okay. Today we are going to be working with the Feels Like Frost product suite. Okay. And the Feels Like Frost product suite includes the frosted foliage cling stamp set, as well as the coordinating frosted frames dies. Okay. I'm going to be 100% honest. These products are brand new. I have not opened them. I haven't touched them. I've never used them before. I have used a little bit of the paper that I'm going to be showing you, but Tuesday is my very long day, and with not sleeping well the last 2 nights, I'm kind of spent. So I don't have it quite prepared like I want, but that's okay. You know, I like to create on the fly anyways. Okay, we're going to be featuring a fun fold card that uses the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper. Now this paper comes in the 6x6 size. There's 12 different sheets. Let me run through these. 12 different sheets. And they're basically photorealistic winter scenes, okay? They can be used for Christmas, for the holidays, but don't have to be for that purpose only, okay? That's so pretty. I guess this makes sense to turn it this way, okay? And then on the reverse side of the photorealistic scenes, you get metallic silver on white images. So that's what makes it a specialty designer series paper, the fact that it has the metallic silver on it, okay? And again, a bunch of different patterns and images, okay? Again, having to do with the outdoors and wintertime, most of them. Here's a stripe. That could be used for so many different things. They all could be. And the white is even raised on this, so it feels embossed, okay? Isn't that darling? This makes me think of the snowflakes in the Charlie Brown Christmas show. Can you picture those white, fluffy snowflakes falling down on Charlie Brown and all his friends? And then that one kind of reminds me of dandelions, or, yeah, what do I want to say? You know, the wish-blowing things, dandelions, okay? So let's get started. And honestly, and you know me, I just keep it real. Honestly, I saw this fun fold card on a demonstrator site, and it was created by Rachel Tessman, and I just loved it, but I have not had time to actually make it ahead of time, so I just reviewed the video again, and I've got all my measurements, so you and I are going to be making it together for the very first time, okay? And I believe she called this the 3-panel Z-fold card, something like that. Oh, Pam, I'm glad you like the paper. Ladies, don't forget to click share. That helps me so much if you click share, okay? And I will be giving away some cards tonight. Sharon, I don't know why you can't. Sharon, make sure you are on Stampin' Scrap with Mary Knabe. You have to be on the right page or group, okay? So if you're watching from Stampin' Piece VIP and you're not able to comment or whatever, try it on. And sometimes people use their phones and it doesn't work out quite the same. Okay, I have to admit, I came home, I had lots of happy mail. I got a package from Susan Leggett's, who is, let's see, 1, 2, 3 demonstrators above me. I won a prize with her, so I got that. Oh, best of all, Stampin' Up! You know we've had problems with the Purple Posy ink pad. I had purchased the Purple Posy ink pad and refill during the pre-order, the demonstrator pre-order, and then we found out later it was defective and they worked to correct it and all that. I don't know why I'm getting this huge glare there. Whatever. But anyways, so without me even asking or inquiring, Stampin' Up! Sent me a brand new Purple Posy ink pad and refill. Isn't that awesome? I mean, how many companies would do that for you? Obviously, they could keep track, or, you know, it's in records, which demonstrators purchased the defective ones. You know, we didn't know they were defective, obviously. But purchased that during the pre-order before they found the problem, and they just mailed them to me. So I was thrilled about that. I can't remember what my other happy mail was. But then I got a box from Stampin' Up! I was so excited. I opened it up, and it's not the order I thought it was. So the thing I've been really awaiting was not in that box, and I'm just dying to show you. Can you guess what it is? I believe it's going to be here tomorrow. Can anybody guess what that thing is that I'm waiting for? Okay. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to think about that. And if you think you know the product that I'm waiting for delivery on, write it in the comment. Okay, put it in the comment. And we'll see who comes up with it. Joan Horner, you already got it. The trimmer, the brand new trimmer. I cannot wait. Okay, I cannot wait. Okay, let's get started making our fun fold card. Yes, Chrissy, you are right. Okay, so you're going to start with the basic card base size, 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And you're going to, and I've already cut that to size. Yes, Lisa, Pam, oh, all of you guys guessed it. So you're going to, with the long side at the top, you're going to score at 1.5 inches and 4.25 inches. Okay. And you do want to use your bone folder on this. I don't always use my bone folder when I'm folding cards, but I generally do with fun folds, because with fun folds you generally have a greater thickness, more layers. So giving your folds a nice crease helps them stay flat and together. Okay, just makes a nicer card. Okay, you also need a piece of neutral. Now your neutral can be white or vanilla, something like that, but consider your neutral the piece that you want to write your message on or stamp a message on. Okay, and it's going to go on the inside of your card. So that you want to be, and I've got 1 3/4 plus. You want to go just a smidgen over 1 3/4. Okay, like a 1/16 over by 5.25 inches. Okay. So this is what I have so far. Okay. Then you are going to take your designer series paper. You want to decide, because you need to cut this down to 6 across, 6 wide by 5.25 high. So you need to decide, do you want to cut off the top or the bottom? You're going to cut off 3/4 of an inch. And I decided that I want to cut off the top. Okay, to keep more of that precious image. So honestly, this whole card is going to use all but this 3.25 inch strip of DSP. Okay, that doesn't always happen, does it? That we get to use that much of our DSP on one card. Okay, then you're going to cut this piece of DSP into 3 sections. So I have 6 inches by 5.25. You're going to cut at 2 3/4 inches. Okay, then you're going to take that leftover piece and cut at 1 1/8 inches. I need a new blade here too. I need to switch it out, but I didn't yet. Whoops, sorry, I'm kind of clumsy. Okay, 1 1/8 inches. And then the last one should measure 2 1/8, and it does. Okay, so 2 3/4, 1 1/8, and then 2 1/8. So they're all different widths. Okay, set this aside for now. And you can see I need to put a new blade in that cutter until my new one comes tomorrow. I'm so excited. Can't wait to show it to you. I can't wait to play with it and then show it to you, and we'll discuss some of the new features. But when I get that little bit of a jagged edge, I just go over it with my finger a little bit, and it turns those jaggedy edges underneath. Can you see that? It looks pretty crisp now, doesn't it? Okay, so don't get all freaked out and worried, and later I will put in the a new blade. Okay, so now you want to adhere these pieces. Okay. So it's going to go on like this. I feel like I've done something wrong here. No, I haven't. Okay. So this is how they're going to fit on. And you do want to keep your pieces in that order, so you get the whole scene. Okay. So the first thing, because I think it's the easiest one to put on, and you might need, the snail doesn't necessarily pick up real good on that silver paper, so you might need one a little bit stronger, or even your multi-purpose glue. Okay. So I'm going to put my neutral piece. You want a solid piece of cardstock here. Okay. And then next to that, you're going to put the piece that is 2 1/8 inches wide. I'm trying to stay up in your screen better. The other day I noticed I was falling out of the screen a little bit, so trying to work on that. The next piece you're going to put down, and again, it's going to have a border. I'm having a little trouble with this. Okay. And I want as much border between this right edge and the fold as I do on this piece, this little border between the fold and the paper. Okay. And no, you don't have to measure it with a ruler. You eyeball these things. Okay. You just look to make sure the matting is the same size all the way around. Okay, now this can present a problem, right? What you need to do is take this piece and only adhere it to this small 1.5 inch flap. Okay, so that means you do not want to get your adhesive beyond the center of this. Actually, it's going to be even a little less than the center. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm put a small piece at the top and then down the side. Oh, I don't know why it's all gummy. Let me see if I have a different one. Okay. Oh, I know, I just did it, didn't I? Just did what I told you not to do. Okay. So adhesive only on the back of the left side of the DSP. It doesn't like to catch on this. Maybe I should have chosen my chosen to use my multi-purpose glue instead. Okay, and you're again just checking the borders around the top, the side, and the bottom. Okay, and if it's easier for you, lay it out like this, or put your adhesive on the cardstock side. And if you lay it out, you can do it just like that. Okay, but you do not want to adhere the right side of this piece. Okay, so this is what your finished card looks like. Okay, just like that. Isn't that cute? Now, if you want to put something else here, you can. And for that one, you would need to make it, I believe it's 2 3/8, but let me double check, or 2 3/4, something like that. It is 2 3/4 inches. Okay, so and then it's 2 3/4 inches wide. So you want to go down, and I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. So you'd want to make it 2.5 inches wide by 5 1/4. Okay. So an example of that would be, I could take the same Seaside Spray cardstock and cut that down to 2.5. And again, you don't have to. It's just an extra little piece you can put on, and you'll need that to be at 5 1/4. I'm cutting a little off the bottom there. Okay. So this is what it would look like then. Okay, and I kind of think it adds to it, especially because this is such a dark color. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on, but remember that piece is optional. Okay, thanks to those of you who shared. I appreciate it so, so much. Okay, now let me check one thing here. Okay, so now let's add to it. Okay, you know what? I just did this wrong. I did do this wrong. I told you the wrong thing. Okay, set that aside. That is one thing we can do. One way we can do it. Okay, but I have to think, am I doing it correctly? Ah! Okay, so let's do another one. Go back over this. Okay, for the next one, I've chosen this DSP and these pieces. This is Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape for the cardstock, okay? So if you remember, I'm starting with 5.5 by 8.5, and I want to score at 1.5 inches. And then I want to score at 4.25 inches. So this card ends up being the very same size as, hi Joyce, any standard card, 5.5 by 4.25. I like the colors too. I'm glad you do, Lisa. Okay, I want a neutral piece that I'm going to cut 1 3/4 by 5.25. You should see my house. I was like running around trying to find my ink pads and everything because I have my big fall creative escape weekend. I've got 40 people coming to the Hilton Garden Inn in Blue Ash. I have stuff all over my house, make and takes and packets and product and gifts, and it's like craziness out there. And I came to escape in here and do this Facebook Live, and then I realized half of my ink pads are packed with all the other things. So, but that's all right. You guys are worth it. It was a little bit of running around, but you guys are worth it. Now remember, it's best to use your bone folder and make some really good creases on your fun fold cards. Okay. I still feel like something's not right here. Okay, and on this one, I think I'm going to cut off the bottom, or do you think the top? I don't think it's really going to matter a whole lot on this one. But we want to cut this down so that it's 6 inches wide and a 5.25 inches tall. Okay, and then from there, we need to cut this into 3 sections. The first section will be, Patty, they really are fun. They really are fun. I'm usually exhausted the first day because I've been working so hard getting ready, but the excitement and the adrenaline just gets going when everybody comes in and gets down to setting up their things and seeing everything they brought. And some people, I only may see them a couple times a year at an event like this. So it really is fun, and that kind of re-energizes me. Okay. I still feel like I'm doing something wrong here, but maybe I just am not trusting myself since I'm doing it live, doing it first time live, okay? All right, and this time I am going to try my multi-purpose glue. Does anybody else use their multi-purpose glue or have it? It really is a good, very good quality adhesive. Like, what am I doing wrong here? Okay, I'm just going to say I'm puzzled because I was thinking it was opening like that. But I guess it can be either way, right? We're creative. We're our own people. We have our own creative minds and ambitions. So we'll try it both ways because now I'm like really confusing myself. Okay. Isn't this paper pretty? And I love being able to coordinate the colors with it. Okay, I'm going to take a quick look back at this, where I had it. Of course, the page didn't stay up where I had my directions. So sorry. No, I got it right. I guess I'm just not trusting myself. Okay, alrighty. So go ahead and we'll put our other ones on. I have a question. I was thinking about this the other night when I was laying in bed and I couldn't sleep. If I said to you, beforehand, if I gave you, maybe the day before, said, join me on Facebook Live, and these are the pieces of cardstock I want you to have and cut to size, and then you make the project along with me. Would any of you be interested in doing something like that? Oh, Patty, you made some easel cards. Oh, I'd love to see them. Please take a picture and post to this site. Okay, but yes, it should all lay out like this, like a theme. Oh, that blade is bad. And yes, I do have blades. I was able to buy some. It is beautiful paper. Several times now in the last couple of years, we've had some photorealistic paper. And this is about out. This is just one of these days, isn't it? Okay. But hey, I'm not going to complain. I have a job I love. I have people like all of you that support me. So it is what it is, and I get through it all. And I did it again. Do you know what I did? I just did. Mary, Mary, Mary. Okay, well, I'm not going to put that down. What can I put there? So I'm just going to leave it like this because I don't want to. I think I need to just quit talking and craft. What do you think? You like that idea that you would... Joyce, you watching your recliner. You're funny. Okay, so that's what it would be like. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let that dry. And again, if you decide it needs something over here, you could even put a piece of ribbon, a strip of cardstock, in a different color. You could put, do something like this. Have that there. This one I don't think coordinates well, but or this one from the other piece that we cut off from the first card. Okay. All right. So do you want to see that again, or should we go ahead and finish these cards off? Should we decorate them? I'm winging it tonight, so I can do anything. Okay. Anybody have a preference? Now that I've created this huge mess in my area again. Okay, here's a couple others I pulled out while I'm waiting for your response to tell me, do you want to see me do some more scenes on the cards, or would you like me to finish off these two cards? Okay. So here's one scene. I love that. Is that not beautiful? And I was thinking I'd put it with Pretty Peacock. Can you picture that? Okay. And then I thought maybe this could be the neutral I use on that side. If not, I would go with the white. Okay. And then here's another scene with evergreens. Joyce, I will finish. Mary Lou, I will finish. Okay. And for this scene, I thought this color combination would work. Blushing Bride and Rococo Rose. Okay, so you can see and it's just basic cutting. Basic cutting. Finish the purple and blue. I knew you would say that. I know you, Joyce. You love the blush with the trees. I do too. Okay, that's what I'm going to show you now. We're going to decide where we're going to put those sayings. So far, do you like this fun fold? I hope so. Okay, now on this one, keep in mind I'm trying to let my glue over there dry because I put it on the wrong side. You know, these are the ones that come with it, but you don't have to use just this stamp set, okay? We have a gazillion stamp sets with awesome sentiments. So it would be great for a birthday card, a get well, a sympathy, all kinds of occasions, okay? All kinds, just a friendly hello, okay? I'm going to do this one, I think. Now let's do this. Sending a little Yuletide cheer. Would you send that? Yeah, why not? Okay, so I'm using the Frosted Frames dies. Okay. I'm going to move my trimmer and bring in my Big Shot. And I'm going to use some white cardstock, I believe. Let's see. I think, oh, I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. This is pretty big. I think I'll use it for that. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cut some of these pieces. I don't think you can see my Big Shot. I'm going to cut some of these pieces. I decided I need a setup like for videos like Stampin' Up! Has at the onstage events where they have a long table and the projects are set out across the table and they just roll their chair along to the next one. To the next project. Wouldn't that be something? Who knows? Maybe when I get my basement finished later this year, I will do something like that. I think I'm going to go with these. I'm just going to cut a bunch of these out. Whatever I have, I'm cutting. And we're going to play. Okay? Because that's what we like to do with our Stampin' Up! Products. Hi, Robin and Deb. The blue with the trees, too, is also pretty. Okay, and Lisa, there's no right or wrong as to where you put the sentiment. I'm going to roll it back through just to be sure. But we'll play around with these and give you some ideas of where you want to put some sentiments or where they might be good. And also, where you put the sentiment may determine, or I should say, the size of your sentiment may determine where you want to put the sentiment on your card. Okay? All right. These new dies from the new company are really awesome. I love them. So we'll just get a bunch of things here. And a couple of these I need to run back through. Well, I guess I should have ran it through more. This is just one of those nights. I am so sorry, ladies. I feel like I should start over from the beginning. Like I'm not doing my best. I am trying. And I should have known with the intricacies of these dies to run them through several times. And I was trying to hurry and I didn't do that. So in the end, what happened? I wasted time. Now, isn't that a lesson we've probably all learned from our moms at one time or another? One thing you can do too, when it's real intricate like this, you can even just flip it over and you get a little bit different pressure. First of all, you'll be able to see where it's cut and where it hasn't. And you'll want to hold it tight when you do, but it gives a little bit different pressure. And remember too, every embossing and die cutting machine is going to wear differently based on how much you use it and how you use it, okay? Okay, that little one didn't cut out so well. All right, so there we have some things to start with. I think I'm going to have to trim that one. Okay, I'm going to have to trim this one just a wee bit. Alrighty. Oh, so much stuff. Okay. So, let's, should have pulled out my Big Shot die brush. That would have taken care of these little pieces, right? Okay, but I'm just going to let it go for now just like that because I don't want to take up too much more time. All right, so what I'm going to do is stamp this label that I cut out, okay? And I'm going to use the one, look, I haven't even mounted these, but I usually do put my stickers on. I'm a visual person, so it just is better for me to see the whole thing. Okay, do you all know how to mount the stamps? Okay. You like the purple best? I do too, but I don't know. It reminds me of spring, but yet it's a winter scene. But there's something about purples being a very, in my opinion, happy color. Okay. And I need, almost all of my blocks are packed too, because I have everything sectioned out. Okay. I'm not sure. Should I use the Gorgeous Grape or the Highland Heather? Now this could have been a time too where you wanted to use a different color, like the Highland Heather or something like that. Okay. I'm gonna say, you know what, if you're not sure, you know what you should do? You stamp it on the back. I do this all the time. We can even turn it this direction. Oh yeah, I like that. I just think that the Gorgeous Grape ink will just be a little too dark. Okay. Do you see my hands flying all over the place? I'm so sorry. Okay, thanks for your patience. Okay, so sending you a little Yuletide cheer. Okay. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, and you'll want to have this closed so you know where to put your adhesive, and let's all say a prayer for Mary that she gets it right this time. Okay. I think I'm going to do it just like that. Okay. So I'm going to put my adhesive on the back of the right side. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I was talking to somebody on my team earlier today, and we were just, in addition to answering her questions, we were just kind of catching up. And honestly, this woman has so much going on in her life. But we both agreed, you know what? Some days are crazy. When it rains, it pours. Some days are harder than others. But there's so much to be grateful for. Okay? All right. So I have that. Okay. Do you think I need the Highland Heather in the back there? I kind of do. Again, it's not necessary. And that's going to be 2.5. Not necessary, but it just may add a little something. Okay. I guess on these prints, I'm liking the lighter colors in this DSP. Okay. The gray looks cold. Yes. I'm afraid I'm going to lose all my dies. You can see too that if you have to make a lot of something and you're in a hurry, This multi-purpose glue is really good because number one, it dries quickly. Number two, it goes a long way. And number three, it's very cost effective. Okay. $4 for a bottle, and it does last quite a long time. Okay. Remember, I put the glue on the wrong side here, so I'm going to have to get out my adhesive eraser and go over that. But there's that card. Okay. Now, if you want to get even fancier, you can do something like adding these in there. Okay. And this might be a way to fancy up that plain left panel. Okay. I'm just going to do this real quickly with a couple of dots of glue. Oh, and I just learned something before I got on here. When I, after I get off my Facebook Lives, there's an app called Wheel, W-H-E-E-L, Decide. And what I can do is I put in the names of the people who have watched or commented or, you know, whatever to win the raffle prize. And then it puts it on a wheel and it spins. The only problem with that is the more people you get, which I want more people watching, you have to enter all those numbers yourself or all those names yourself. And I just heard about an app, and I wrote it down to check it out and give it a try because I think it is going to work brilliantly for me. And it's something, it reads the comments or it picks up the names from the comments on the Facebook Live or on the post and puts all the names in automatically and chooses the winner randomly. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm excited to give that a try. I think I need one more at the bottom here. What do you think? Has anybody purchased this paper? I know a couple of you said you've used it. Hi, Amy. So really the trickiest part of this, and you saw I goofed, is where to put your adhesive. Okay. So does this kind of answer your question? Who asked that? I think it was Lisa. Yes, about where to put the saying. Okay. And you could, of course, put the saying right on this piece. You don't have to have it going over, but I just thought it added a little more interest. Okay. And that's that. How about if we do something with this? What I wanted to show you is really, too, how you can use the stamps, but you don't necessarily have to use the dies that go with it. This one is really fun because this you can stamp right on here, or you can, here, let me just do it. I'll show you. It's easier to show than explain, at least for me, because that's how I roll. Okay. And this time I'm going to cut it out in the vertical direction. Okay. Even simple changes like that, going from horizontal to vertical, can make some nice, interesting changes to your cards. Can you think of other embellishments you might add to this card? What can you do to kind of bling it up a little bit? Anybody? Oh, there's a lot of comments tonight. A lot to go through. Okay, you can flip it over just like this and see. It'll cut almost all the way. One corner's not quite cut. You know, I was big shotting for hours yesterday, and I did not have a problem with anything not cutting all the way through. Of course it happens when I'm live. Okay, there we go, I think. Yes. So then you can do something like this. I'm not getting that one quarter. I might need a shim or something. Okay. And you can put it like that. Isn't that pretty? Okay. You can also layer the two, and what it will do is it will actually cut out a little frame. So this, you'll have a, it's like you'll have a hole in this piece. Okay, do you see that? See what I mean? Okay, you'd end up with this piece. Does everybody get what I'm saying? I hope so. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. I haven't used dimensionals yet tonight. And ladies, thanks for your patience with me. I can tell I'm a little off here. I'm not necessarily doing my best work. I'm putting in some good effort, but I think I just have too much on my mind with the weekend event coming. But I did not want to cancel on you guys. I'm trying to be as consistent as I can be. Oh, and Thursday, you have to come to Stampin' Peace VIP group on Thursday at 2 p.m. I found a super cute project to show you using the wrapped in plaid. And I can't even tell you, I can't even think of a good hint without giving it away. But found a really good project to show you. So that'll be happening on Thursday. It'll be using the wrapped in plaid designer series paper, and we'll be making masculine cards. So definitely tune in. Okay. Okay, I have a few of these little pieces I need to punch out, but I can let that go for now. Okay. So it's something like that. Okay. And I can do it this way. Can you picture that? Okay. I guess I should have done it on blue to decorate the blue one, right? But what I wanted to show you is, and I know somebody asked on a Facebook Live, and it was one that got cut off, you know, the internet goes screwy or something, but I got to keep scrolling up, more comments coming in. Lisa, you have the paper, but no cards with, and you've made several, Pam. Oh, good. Hi, Sue. Gold foil and pad. Don't you love the metallic accents on the designer series papers? I sure do. They're just so fun. And they just give a very, what do I say, like a richness, I would say, to your project or your cards. Okay. So when you are mounting your cling stamps, you're going to remove the adhesive from the back side of your sticker, your label. Then you're going to peel off the backing for the actual stamp. Thanks for sharing, Marilyn. Okay. And then you're just going to match up the outlines of your rubber stamp with the outlines of the label and peel it off like that. Okay. I'll do one more to show you. Okay, so I peel those off, and the labels, that adhesive backing will always have a slit in it about in the middle of the sticker. So that makes it a little bit easier to peel as well. Just make sure you have good light when you do it too, because I notice for myself, the matching it up or mismatching comes when I don't have good light. And look over the top of it, not at an angle. Okay. Now this, I just thought, you know, you warm my heart. I don't know about you, but there's so many people in my life that, you know, I can be having a bad day or whatever, but I see them and my heart warms and I feel good and happy again. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to, I don't know if I have a smaller scrap, probably not. This is for the blue card. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to put this on white, a white strip. So here's a 1-inch strip of white cardstock. Okay. And I'm estimating, I'm going to use the I'm going to use the everyday label punch and do something a little bit different with it. So I'm estimating I need about 4 inches. Probably not quite 4 inches, but we'll go with 4. I'd rather have a little too much than not enough. Okay. Now, in the past, I've shown you that there are different ways to use your punches to get different shapes. And where is it? Okay. So let me show you that. And before I was telling you, I know I showed this before and I was saying stick it in through the center. Oh, there's an easier way. I was like, brilliant. And then when I was watching Rachel Tessman's video, she did the same thing as me. She started going in through the center and then she was like, wait a second, you know, go through the side. It's much easier. So go through the side and pull up into the center, the hole of your punch. Now the tricky part is going to be getting it lined up in there straight. But what I like to do is kind of use the edge of my punch as a guide, okay? And I can put my finger there to help hold it in place. And then I look at where the top and the bottom are, okay? And when I think I have it right, I just give a small squeeze. Okay, now I moved. I just give a small squeeze like that, and it holds it in place. So I do have an opportunity to open it back up and move it a little bit, but I'm going with it, okay? Now, if I want to do the same thing on the other side, I go in from the left, pull it up through the center. And it's honestly, with this one, it's easier to do with the same width of, or depth of your punch. Width, I guess I'd say. Okay. Sandy, if it's hard, my guess is that you're just having a hard time making it even top and bottom, because that's typically it. When you think you have it, give that punch a squeeze. It's not falling out. I've squeezed enough. Okay. Sandy, next time I see you, you and I are going to try it together. Okay, so that's one way. The other thing is you can, let's see, I'll show you the wider one. And I've done this on a different card. I believe it was 1 3/4 inches, so let's try that. Because it is easier. The other thing is there are some straight notches here that can make it a little hard. Another one that's great to do this technique with is the timeless label punch or the story label punch. Okay, so just play around with them and try it out. Nope, it's 1 1/2. Can somebody tell me how we're doing on time? That was the other thing. Late last night when I was working, something funky happened to my computer screen and I finally got everything back up, but it's not coming up the same way, so I can't see my time on here unless I click and drag something. Okay, so there I've lined it, the edge of the cardstock up with the edge of my stamp. This is, what did I say, a 1 1/2 inch. I should have measured it before I cut the first time. Okay. Now here's a trick to that too. I'm going to stamp this in Night of Navy. Remember, I wasn't sure how long. 7:53. Thank you very much. Thanks, Sue. You're a doll. Remember, I wasn't quite sure what length to cut this based on the fact that I would be using my punch in a different way to trim the edges. Thank you, Wendy. Okay. What you can do is punch one end, stamp your sentiment or your image, and then you'll have a visual of how much space you have at the other end. Otherwise, if I had cut it at the very end, if I had punched it at the very end, I would have centered my sentiment, stamped it in the center, and then I'd have bigger white spaces on each side than I probably really would want. So that's a way to get around this. Okay. Alrighty. So, I don't know. What do you think? Like that? I think I like that. Okay. And we can even throw in a couple of snowflakes. But I'm going to adhere this. Now remember, this is the biggest issue with this card, is remembering where to keep the adhesive and where not to put the adhesive, right? Learn from my mistakes. I'm speaking from experience, right? Even though I knew that going into it. But it's easy to get caught up, especially when I'm talking too much. Okay. And let's just use a glue dot for this. Okay, I'm so cheap. I use every last bit. I have 2 glue dots on here, and I just couldn't throw that away because obviously I'm using glue dots practically every day, so why throw it away? Okay, I'm going to put this here like that. Okay. And a little rhinestone or something there would be pretty, right? You all know too that we have you can always get the solid color or the clear rhinestones and color them with your Stampin' blends markers, alcohol-based markers. But we also have many others. You can buy a package of red rhinestones, the clear, which can be colored. And now we have another pack. These are the Noble Peacock rhinestones that came out with the new annual catalog. But in the holiday catalog, you'll find that we have these holiday rhinestones, which are just darling. So I think I'm actually going to add a few of those to my card to dress it up a little bit even more. I'm going to pull out my handy dandy take your pick tool. I love this thing. Okay, I'm going to turn it just a wee bit to get some of that putty out and showing. Hi, Alice. Boy, I have people from all over tonight. Thank you. What a blessing. And I see we're up to 19 people. I'm so excited. This makes my day, ladies. Makes my day. Okay. And remember too, we talked about when you're adding embellishments or several kinds of images or elements of one product, we typically add them in odd numbers, so like 3 or 5 or 7. And my friend Joyce Wilhelm told me, she used to be a home ec teacher back in the day, and she told me that the study was done and that your eye sees beauty in odd numbers. Isn't that kind of interesting? But it's true. Anytime I've done something like this, I'm going to add just a couple more, maybe up here. Hope I'm not overloading it. What do you think? There. Okay. We also have that Seaside Spray metallic ribbon, would be gorgeous on this. Okay. Now, this says, "You warm my heart." What I like about this, we don't have a whole lot to write, but some people like that because they don't like to write a lot. But you can just write a quick little message in here. Thanks for your thoughtfulness, and sign your name. Okay. And your sentiment or your message is still private and it's still covered. Okay. How's that? Okay. Tonight, I don't know how many of these I have. Tonight, I'm going to give away a package of the holiday rhinestones, okay? Or would you rather have a card? Or maybe I could give away a package of holiday rhinestones and the cards. What do you think of that? Because, you know, the more winners, the more fun, is the way I see it. I'll probably even make a few more of these cards, make up those other ones, okay? But I hope you enjoyed tonight's video. Thank you for your patience. I feel I'm a little off today with just being so busy and so tired and too much on my mind, and my big event coming up on Friday. It's Friday through Monday. But I'm really looking forward to it, and I have so much done, but you know, there's always those last few things, then you have to keep going over them and making sure you've got everything. So, okay, ladies, if you would like to be entered into the drawing to win, I would like you to comment, type the word frost in the comments. Vicki, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Oh, Wendy. Wendy, that does warm my heart. I always enjoy my time with you too. Thanks so much. You guys are awesome. Be sure and check out Thursday's Facebook Live on Stampin' Peace VIP group. And invite your friends to join my group. Everybody is welcome. But I have a great project to show you on Friday. Think masculine and think plaid. Okay? Have a great night. Thanks for spending part of your evening with me. Don't forget to comment frost if you'd like to be entered into the drawing to win the holiday rhinestone jewels or one of the cards we made tonight. I think we need a little rhinestone going on here too, don't we? I'll have to add that after we get off. Good night, everybody. Have a great week. Oh, Sue, you're awesome. Don't forget to comment frost before you sign off. Good night.